start playing Dwarf Fortress again. I probably will not stream it, but I should get back into it. I feel like I got kind of like bored isn't the emotion I'd quite use, but I feel it's, I guess, close. Like, I found like the edge of some adamantium and wanted to get at it, but it's just surrounded by so much lava, and by design, probably. It is like really obnoxious to get that out. Like I have ways to do it. I have water and magma piping at my disposal. Um, but it's just like really slow work to like clear it out, and like I feel like in some ways Dwarf Fortress like works well with my um sure. My probably ADHD. In some ways it kind of just inflames in ways that get me like hyped up, and then just like kind of crash afterwards. And like I have all these ideas of things I want to do in my Dwarf Fortress save besides like the adamantium stuff, but I feel like I just like maybe this is another thing I need to like work on, like just organizing better, because maybe I can just like lay out like what schemes I have for that save and like work through them safely. But um, I don't know. I feel like a lot of my like playtime with it, like never on stream, like I got carried away with like trying to do a bunch of things at once and just did kind of none of them well, and like stopped wanting to play. So maybe I can find a way to work through that stuff that leads to me playing a cool game more. None of these ones spit poison at least. I would like to get back and like get some adamantium and make items from it in Dwarf Fortress. I'd like to finish like whatever other schemes I had that I'm now forgetting of. I would like to. I don't think I'd try it for Hell or not. I think I'm not that advanced a player, considering what I've seen other ones do to get down into Hell and Dwarf Fortress. But I don't know, I'm sure I can find something to do if I never do that. I think I did need... Right, I think one of the other things that kind of bummed me out in my current save is I was going to build like an ornate throne room for my king, and can like actually... Well, start on that now, because I have the adamantium and like have some of the divine metals that are the things he wanted the throne built out of. But my king in my Dwarf Fortress save like accidentally fell into the volcano because I was doing some ill-advised manual some ill-advised intentional cave-ins from the top of the volcano to send magma down to find out where the lava sea was. That's the thing you can do in Dwarf Fortress, so that game is absurd. I was sending rocks down that were made of a material that wouldn't burn up in magma by building over the magma in the volcano, and then like building like a little like a single tile that was supported only by its neighbor, and then having a dwarf mine out the neighbor so that the tile's unsupported, and it falls until it hits a wall piece effectively. And like as it falls, it like reports back things it's detecting, because again, Dwarf Fortress is like an absurdly built game. The result being that rude. You see all the things connected to like the magma where you sent it down, which will include the lava sea at the bottom of the world, the magma sea rather. So you can like find out where a bunch of that is and like know how to get to it. Which is nice, because like until then, like you just find like magma, but you don't know where the sea really starts, besides just like digging down like randomly. And like once you find the sea, you can start finding adamantium, which I did, and you can also break through the adamantium into the super fun zone, which I guess is what I should have been calling it all along, to be a good Dwarf Fortress player who uses the reaction templates. Yeah, while I was doing that, my king was one of the people mining, because he just was assigned to mine, and I mismanaged one of the mine orders, and he just fucking fell into the volcano and died. There's no way to get him out. And I never got another king since then. Like, I don't know, like, from what I read in the Dwarf Fortress wiki, like, you were supposed to, like, have someone, like, come by and be like, hey, I talked with my rivals and now I'm the king, and you say, yeah, sure, dude, alright, sounds cool. But no one ever did, like, for, like, in-game years and years and years, and, like, I don't know if my save's bugged, or if there's anything I can do to fix it. But I don't have a king, which means I can no longer, like, do the, like... Well, I can still make the ornate throne room, like, there's nothing stopping me. But I can't do, like, the task they put in specifically for, the Steam version where you get to Adamantium, your king says, you should build me a throne room, and, like, build a chair with these specific materials, and you do that, and then something happens, and, like, I don't even know if it was, like, known at the time of the wiki being updated. Because no one had, like, gotten a Steam save that far yet. And just people have been playing this game for, like, you know, like, a decade or more doesn't mean, like, they're just gods at it. Like, still takes time to do things. And, like, I wasn't even, like, worried about, like, oh, maybe I'll be the first one. Like, you know, that'd be cool. But, like, I'm pretty sure people would pass it or, like, would pass it. But it's like, oh, I can see what this is before anyone can tell me. I'm like, by doing it myself and like building, like, I was gonna build like a giant like glass throne room or something cool like that. Actually, why I was fucking around with the volcano top in the first place is I wanted to build glass over the top of the volcano, which I did. And I wanted to build the throne room up there, like just a room with a chair and like, I don't know, some other furniture. Like I'd probably build the king's rooms around that. Because, like, the king has... All the nobles and dwarf forces have assigned rooms. Like, they have specific requirements they want, or they'll get unhappy. And, like, he has those... Or the old king had those somewhere in my fortress. I don't fucking remember where. But I was gonna build him just new rooms up there that were made out of just, like... That just, like, looked good. And, like, move his shit up there and be like, hey, yeah, this is, like, my throne room. And, you know, post about it on... The time I've been, I think I was posting on co-host back then too. Just post a big thread saying, "Yeah, I built a fucking throne room for my king." And we are normally no gods, no kings, no masters on this channel. However, sometimes it's nice to have to be the digital god of a dwarf kingdom, and build like an ornate throne room because you can, and you want to show it off to people online. So. They've updated the game a lot since then, and I don't know if any of the patches fix that specifically, but it'd be an excuse to play again and see what they have added. And I know among the things they have added is performance improvements, maybe to help with Dwarf Fortress's famous ability to be so expensive to update things that like the fortress becomes unplayable because it's like single-digit frames. A thing that happened to 2 of my other saves while I was fucking around with water, and shouldn't have been. And it would be nice, in addition to going back to my like Magma Fort save, which is I think my favorite, going back to the other saves and making them un-FPS daft, because the game that famously dies from you playing it too long might finally not always do that. Unless you really do some nonsense. Like, some of my water pumping, like, was definitely part of the reason I had frame issues in my own forts. I think on my, like, second to last fort and the current one, I did a lot of flooding, oh no, it wasn't flooding caves, it was a lot of, I mean, in the newest one it was flooding caves, because I had reasons to do it. But in the second newest fort, it wasn't flooding caves, it was some water. It wasn't flooding caves, it was draining them, because I didn't have... I have the setting on now on my, like, fort generation, or world generation, that it will limit how wet caves can be, so that they can't be, like, almost all the way flooded, or all the way flooded. And the reason I did that is because I had a world where, like, the second and third cave layers were just fully flooded. And it makes it a fucking pain to mine through them. And, like, it also means you can't, like, effectively wall them off, which is the way you, like, limit a lot of, like, what can get into your base to fuck you up in the first place. And, like, make the, like, your world, like, stable in a way, which is, I don't know, narratively interesting to me for how a Dwarf to save was going. Yeah, so, like, those worlds, in addition to, like, being, like, just dangerous in a way I couldn't fix and, like, being a pain to work through, I tried, like, doing some clever floor collapsing to clear air near the edges of the world map so that I could actually, like, mine down there and, like, then wall off the edge of the cave. Like, where the water was coming in. So that it wouldn't. And, like, at some point in doing that, I just had, like, so much water pouring down across Z levels that, like, in addition to, like, whatever the game was going to do naturally just over time, like, it just crawled. And, like, I don't know if it would have ever resolved. Like, I think I would have been, like, working at it for, like, fucking ages, just, like, until I could get that water, like, drained enough or positioned enough that it would actually, like, clear out. And I didn't want to do that, so I just did a new save instead. Both times. I see. Besides that, my other abandoned fort is one where I accidentally breached a river incorrectly and just flooded my whole base, and, like, technically you can fix that, but good luck doing it without, like, any of the structure of your base for in-game years while you mine an alternative temporary base so that you don't lose, you know, the save otherwise. I'm glad it kills him too, that's very funny. Yeah, you'd have to build, like, a temporary base so you can, like, keep going when you get invaders and shit. Build above the river so that you can collapse stuff onto the river such that you can... I don't know, you have to, like, redirect the river, probably be the easiest way to do it. Just build, like, an alternate river channel, build some controlled walls to do it, or some controlled drawbridges. Oh boy. See the dark on those weapons. I'll finish my sentence in a second. I'm info dumping even more now than a second ago, so I realized, like, specifically how I would save that save, and I kind of want to go do it now. Not now, but, like, sometime soon. The thing you would do is, like, you'd build a temp fort that'll keep you going long enough. Like, even that could be a product, like several, like, real-world days on its own, or sessions, like, just kind of working through it. Build that temp fort, build, like, an alternate channel near the river that, like, will divert it from where it's flooding the base. Build that with walls, or with drawbridges that you can lower and up raise to get the water out when you want it to. Divert the river, as planned. There's now no longer infinite water going into your base. However, your base is still full of water. And then what you have to do is dig a channel out below... I guess the easiest way to do it would be, like, on the lowest level that you want to be drained of the fort. You would build that to the edge of the map, because water that pours off the edge of the map just leaves. It's gone. You'd mine, like, one up next to the flood. So if you broke that, then whoever you have mining dies, which is not ideal, especially if you lose a bunch of people in the process of this. You set up drawbridges there, ideally. You have to find a way to break the block between the bit of the wall of the old base that's flooded and the drawbridges. You have to mine that from the... There you You have to mine that from like the top so that your dwarf doesn't immediately die, but whether you'd be able to do that would depend on fort geometry, I think. Um, and then, once you did all that, you wait for the fort to drain, and you have the fort back. God, I really want to actually go do that now. If I don't go... I think I'm going to go too long tonight for that to be viable tonight, even if I like cut the stream. Like, I have other game plans in my near future. But I want to play Dwarf Fortress and go rescue that fort, and then put screenshots of it online. I should have more water. So if you see Dwarf Fortress screenshots from me in the near future, that past 5 minutes of just speaking into a monitor is what I would be doing. Do I have any of the thingy things that make your torch thingy thing?